Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Now today we are going to be talking about week 18 of the Overwatch League Countdown Cup regular season, and it would be the last week of the regular season before the play-ins, unless you count the tournament as well. But anyways, first before we get in we get into the results, I just want to just obviously just make sure that everyone knows about the MVP. You can obviously vote for your MVP. I've already voted for mine MVP and I put Profit down. So these are the players who you can vote for MVP. Fearless, Leave, Hanbin, Sparkle, Flatter, Lip, Izayaki, Pelican, Shoot, and Profit. Those are the 10 players who are eligible for the MVP. Obviously our previous winners, Jonak from NYXL, Sinatra from the SF Shock, and Fleta from the Shanghai Dragons. If Fleta does win this, he will become the first ever double MVP, back-to-back MVP. So it's a possibility that he may win it again. It is a possibility, but we just have to wait and see, because I feel like a lot of people are probably going to be choosing Leave, maybe even Fearless, like some of the Fuel guys. We just have to just wait and see, and it will be so from August 13th to 26th. It will be fans will be able to vote here. I don't know when. So at the end of August, so at the end of the 26th of August, I think it will be announced of who is the 2021 MVP of the Overwatch League. So I just want to just get that out of the way. So let's now have a look at the results for week 18, and here they are. I'm just looking at one of them and I'm shaking my head, and you'll see what I mean. I'll explain it. So we got the first match, Toronto Defiant versus the Paris Eternal, and that went a 3-2 match. Also, I didn't watch any of these, so I apologize if I'm like crazily just like confused and everything, or I don't even know what I'm even talking about. But it was a back and forth match, very very close, obviously. These two teams have been really going back and forth as well. Just in the mid pack, especially in the NA region, in the West region. So it's kind of like who is the best team out of these two teams, and Toronto obviously came out top. I think also picking up Aspire was obviously a good decision by them. Next one, 3-1. Houston Outlaws versus the Florida Mayhem, and Houston won that. It was actually a tie at Blizzard World, but Houston did bring it back at Route 66 and Ilios, and that was a relatively easy win for them. We now go for the East. Hungary Spark versus the Chengdu Hunters. I really expected more from the Spark, to be honest, but they just haven't really been going too well. They've been very, very, very quiet this whole season, and the Chengdu Hunters have been explosive ever since the Summer Showdown. Near the end of the Summer Showdown, the Hunters have been exploding. They've been winning everything. So, yeah, I just really want to just have the Chengdu Hunters versus the Shanghai Dragons again. With this level of Chengdu Hunters roster, that would have been a great match. And then a very easy win for the Guangzhou Charge against the LA Valiant, which they're basically being eliminated straight away anyway, so a very easy win for them. Now for the West, it is the European battle of London Spitfire versus the Paris Eternal, and a very easy 3-0 for the Paris Eternal. No map score at all for the London Spitfire, just a clean sweep, clean sweep by the Paris Eternal. And it's almost the same for the SF Shock against the Vancouver Titans. The Titans did take 1 point off, well, 1 point off them in Volsky Industries. But still a relatively quick game. And the LA Gladiators versus the Florida Mayhem, another very convincing win as well. These three, Spitfire, Vancouver, and Florida, they are the bottom 3 teams in the West region. So it's not really that surprising that they did this badly. And now for the East, the LA Valiant versus the Chengdu Hunters. No surprise there. Chengdu Hunters with an easy win. And this one kind of got me off guard. I really thought it was going to be the Hangzhou Spark winning against the Guangzhou Charge. No, the Charge actually won against the Spark in a 3-2 fashion. It was very, very, very close. But the Charge came out on top, and they got Two very, very good wins. And now so I think this is actually would have been the best record for Guangzhou Charge as a whole this season, with their 2-2 record in a tournament. So good job on Charge. Great job on them. And this is where it all mattered. The last day of the West region. I kind of talked about. Nah, I didn't really talk about this, to be honest. But basically, so like for the regular season, the Atlanta Reign needed Houston to lose and the Shock to lose, which is a very tough task for the Toronto Flame to do, as you can tell by the scoreline. But we'll just go over the first match. The elephant in the room is why I was looking at and why I was very disappointed at the beginning of the video. The London Spitfire versus Vancouver Titus, and the Spitfire won 3-2. It was still a very, very close game, and that is the score. Now I'll just give you a little bit of context. So, my good friend Xander, he he's a big old London Spitfire fan. I used to be, but not anymore, because I quite like Atlanta Reign now. They have great personalities and players as well. So one day we made a bet, and it was about this match. And this was obviously before when Vancouver won their match against the Boston Uprising. So I said to him, if London wins against the Vancouver Titans, I will. I will actually equip all of my London Spitfire skins I have in the game in Overwatch. And yeah, they won, and now I have to equip every single London Spitfire skin that I own to each character. Oh, cock. Alrighty. And I think this is for a week as well. So this is for a week. And oh no. Alrighty. Oh god. Okay. I am very disappointed in Vancouver. I was actually expecting Vancouver to win against Spitfire, because I felt like Vancouver was a bit stronger than London. But yeah, it didn't really work out too well. A very convincing win against the for the LA Gladiators against the Houston Outlaws. Not really surprising there. And the SF Shock versus the Toronto Defiant, that went to Shock's way. So let's now have a look at the teams who will advance to the Countdown Cup tournament. Let's have a look. So we'll first start off with the West region, and it is the Atlanta Reign being undefeated up on top, the LA Gladiators in second, the SF Shock in third, Toronto Defiant in fourth, the Paris Eternal in fifth, and the Dallas Fuel in sixth place, even if there was sandbagging. Outside of the top six, we got the Houston Outlaws, Florida Mayhem, Vancouver Titans, the Boston Uprising, the London Spitfire, and the Washington Justice, both tied for 11th place. That's for the West. Now for the East, the Chengdu Hunters go undefeated in the Countdown Cup, the Philadelphia Fusion second, Seoul Dynasty in third, and with a tiebreaker, the NYXL wins at the tiebreaker, beating up the Guangzhou Charge, who came in 5th place, the Shanghai Dragons in 6th, and the two teams who didn't even win a match in the Countdown Cup, the Hungary Spark and the LA Valiant. I think so. I think the tiebreaker of the NYXL and the Guangzhou Charge is I think they had one time map. So the Guangzhou Charge had the title map once, the NYXL title map of 0, and I think that was the tiebreaker, but I don't actually know. I think it is, but yeah. So the Guangzhou Charge was very, very, very close of making it to their first tournament, but it didn't work, sadly. So let's now have a look at the tournament, and because I'm actually recording this before the East regions actually compete, this is actually perfect timing. So these are obviously the lead teams who will be in the Countdown Cup, and this is the bracket. So we got the Toronto Defiant versus the Paris Eternal. Whoever wins that will go up against the Atlanta Reign, and the SF Shock versus the Dallas Fuel. Whoever wins between those two teams will go up against the LA Gladiators. And just a quick reminder as well, if the SF Shock loses this match, they will never go to Hawaii. Never, ever go to Hawaii, which is actually which shocks me. No, that was not pun intended. And for the East, the NYXL versus the Chengdu Hunters. Whoever wins will qualify for the tournament. And the Seoul Dynasty versus the Philadelphia Fusion. Whoever wins will be in the tournament as well. So we mainly want to just focus on all these matches right here because it obviously depends on the season, which I'll get into very very soon with the standings overall. Actually, you know what? Let's do it right now. Let's do it right now. So as we have a look here, the Dallas Fuel already locked themselves in. Not really a big surprise there. The SF Shock is now in front of the Atlanta Reign because of their win against the Toronto Defiant. If the Shock doesn't make it, the Atlanta Reign has a 75% chance of actually gaining points, well, gain a league point, and if they do, they'll be in second place. If the SF Shock does make it in, then that's going to be a bit iffy. It just really depends on where the Shock, where both of these teams place. Then fourth place, we've got the LA Gladiators and the Houston Outlaws, fourth and fifth. Sixth place, the Washington Justice. Seventh, the Toronto Defiant. Eighth, the Paris Eternal. And ninth, the Boston Uprising. Obviously, Defiant and Eternal, they are both in it. And whoever, well, they're probably going to get both eliminated, or maybe one of them makes it in. We don't know, obviously. It is very crucial to get league points during this time of the season. And outside of the cutoff, we got the Florida Mayhem, London Spitfire, and the Vancouver Titans. I think these three teams are eliminated straight away. So it won't really matter now. So I think it's just the top 9. So these 9 teams will be in the play-ins no matter what. And finally, we go to the East region. The Shanghai Dragons already locked themselves in, so it's not really anything there. The Chengdu Hunters in second place, the Seoul Dynasty in third, Philadelphia Fusion fourth, and the Hungary Spark in fifth. If the NYXL does qualify to Hawaii, just like the Orion, they have a 75% chance of actually getting the point. And if they don't make it in, the Hangzhou Spark will be in the play-ins. So if you're an NYXL fan, you just need to hope that they win against the Chengdu Hunters. Because the Hunters, they're most likely going to be in anyways. So it won't really matter to them. But NYXL fans, you need to pray. You need to pray that your team comes up alive, pops off, and wins against the Chengdu Hunters, who look very dominant and very, very scary. And always behind the NYXL, we got the Guangzhou Charge, who had a very late run, and the 0-16 LA Valiant, the only team who is winless this season. So that is really about it. Obviously, the next video will be the tournament weekend for the Overwatch League. The next actual video will be about NASCAR and Valorant, so just to be warned there. But the next video for Overwatch League will be this tournament weekend, and we'll be obviously talking about the play-ins as well. If you have a look here, these play-ins, the Boston Uprising have already locked themselves in, and I'll give my predictions of the play-ins. I'll give my whole predictions there, like I did for the Valorant that Challengers playoffs. There we go. For the Challengers playoffs, I gave my predictions there, just like I did there. And yeah, so that's really about it of this video. I don't think there will be still hero bans of Echo, Ashe, Sigma, and Lucio. So those heroes will still be banned. And yeah, so that's really about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Catch you guys on next time in the next one. Goodbye.